start from the beginning. I'm going to follow the pages in order to keep it more logical here. So we have the matrix, which is the first two rows here of the breakout, which of course this is two parts are coming
together.
As you will know probably. So we have 16 input, 16 output. We can link whatever with whatever. There is no limitation, of course. So like as you can see also, if you come over here, we have already some demo preset here that you can just show with different link that you can have it. And you can actually store in different preset below. Now we can also go to an empty one right here. We can actually, as you can see from the color actually are meant to create different kind of type of signal in order also to protect and to avoid to make wrong connection. Like in this case, we don't have any kind of group in the output. But for example, you can have like audio group or trigger group, and you don't want to connect audio to trigger or vice versa because it's going to be a problem. So in this way, it's like creating a rule and not to make it able. You can actually making a bigger group, meaning let's go to an empty one. We go here and we can say I want to make the first one stereo. So sorry, from here, here we go. And I want to. This is my my dual VCO, and I want to connect it to my dual VCF, to my filter. So I'm gonna make also my group here, like this one, and then we can connect to each other automatically. So in this way, they're all the time linked. If you have like some stereo processing. Then let's go back here. So we have the view. Then we have the second page linked with the matrix, the mixer, which we can actually apply attenuation to both input and output chain. The mixer is also linked with all the routing here. So they are, let's say the routing and the mixer are linked together. And then we can go to the one of the biggest page, I believe, which is the sequencer. The sequencer can be MIDI and CV. We have 16 tracks. The last one is actually a special track with double purpose. Can be, in this case, a matrix sequencer. So in order to sequence between routing here, so like you can make steps here and then you choose different routing that you want to sequence. Example, for example. And the other one are just or MIDI or CV. The MIDI track we have 3 MIDI TRS output port here, as you can see here from the menu. 1, 2, 3, plus MIDI USB from behind, and or CV, which the CV is actually linked with the first 2 CV output. And when we are in the CV mode, the 2 CV they are being mapped automatically to pitch and velocity, and also we have the gate, of course, linked with them. So let's leave as was before. And then the sequencer also has effects. At the moment we have like the arpeggiator, so that you can play around. Of course we're going to implement more other generative in the future. Now we have we started with the first arpeggiator, you can chain them. Like this. And what else we have? The sequencer is also, you can actually edit in a more convenient way, like using the piano roll, which we have like on the y-axis pitch, MIDI pitch, and on the is the time. So like very direct also the connect between the interface and the pad. You can scroll it, so you can also go up and down depending on what is your range that you want to do.
So you can send all these MIDI clips out also.
Yes, exactly. You can actually then edit in the piano roll all velocity per each notes and steps. You have duration, which you can edit with the encoder, also with the pad you can interact. Probability per step, trigger, trigger for condition, micro timing if you want to have something more natural or more groovy in a way. We have also the last pages, which is automation. At the moment we have 8 line or 8 MIDI CC automation. So and you can actually draw your MIDI automation here. You can actually interpolate it here. So we have linear interpolation, and then you set up your CC output. And per track, we have actually 8 MIDI CC.
Okay.
So you can make all this sort of waves.
Wow. So lots of modulation then.
A lot of modulation, you can go crazy really. Okay, so this is the sequencer in a nutshell. You have also a lot of sheets if you want, up to 1,000.
So how many steps? How many?
That's a good question. We have 32 steps per sheets. Per sheets we can consider like one pattern in a way, but we have actually multiple sheets, so you can go up to 1,024. So you can really. I think we did the calculation, around 120 BPM, you can reach around 2 hours of music more or less. So it's like, you can go crazy and then write whatever you want here.
Wow.
And then next page is the clip page. So you have here, you can stop your pattern, your sequence whatsoever. You can store it into a clip, and then you can go to a new one and then set up. So then you can also, like here actually, you already have something. We have like different, let's go to something more like here, for example. Different kind of, okay, now it's very similar to each other, but you can actually have different kind of sequence and link and in time also if you want. Then we have the keys page, which is essentially like a sort of a mini keyboard, which you can play. Here you have the pitch selection.
Are these velocity and everything?
They are not velocity sensitive, the pulse, but you can actually control the velocity here, so that's a compromise. You have different modes, so this is like a piano mode, or like, we call it melody, but it's like, I think, usually it's called isomorphic, like you can have different kind of relationship between laying, like a guitar or keyboard, for example.
Nice.
You have actually scale, you can change actually the root, the indication, so to make it easier, octave, and so forth and so on. And then here also you have some settings for the MIDI recording. To overdub, activate, and quantization. And then we're going towards the modulation area. So we have LFO and envelope, which both of them are both MIDI and or CV.
Okay.
So if the track is set up to CV, you can actually decide where you want to send LFO. So it can be like on one of the two, can be actually map it to LFO modulation or envelope modulation. Otherwise, you can just use it for MIDI modulation, so like pitching, and you can do all this sort of crazy things. Right? Then we can go to the DAW, which is in this device actually is a bit more clear. At the moment we have a script working with up to live, so you can control triggering clip, muting, soloing, recording, and levels.
So is it only Ableton at the moment?
At the moment, yes, we have Ableton. We are working on a Big Wig that we're gonna. Of course, we couldn't. We are working on Big Wig. We are working on Logic and plus whatever also people want. We also have to see the demand and to work on this.
Nice.
Plus, actually, in Superbooth, we are also demoing this new small plugin that is going to be used in order to sync DAW with Reliq. This is made in collaboration with Midolom, with the guy that now is not here, that is taking this beautiful master code there. And it's actually helping to have a very strict tight syncing with Reliq. So you can actually you start here and yes, of course, and starting also Reliq. And you can also change the time. So you can see here it's changing. In order to avoid using MIDI clock because it's not very tight.
Not stable, but this makes it stable.
Yeah, this is actually it's a.
And it's called U-Sync, right?
U-Sync, the protocol we call it U-Sync, which is developed. And in order to have the most reliable clock as possible.
Nice. So is that one already released, the U-Sync, or is it on the way?
This one is demo only for Superbooth. It's gonna come also in the next month or two. We're also gonna finish it.
Nice. Very good.
And just last but not the least, as we said, we have the sound page. Which is actually, we can call it like as a sort of a microcontroller for the device. So what you can do, if you're, let's activate it, you can actually choose all your setting in each pages, whatever you want here, and then you can take a snapshot and lock it in time in that moment.
Okay.
And then you can actually sequence all these
Different
snapshots in order to have like a song or a big
So it's
structure.
basically like a DAW within.
Yeah, it's like a timeline you made up. You put there and this is frozen.
Yeah. So this is like better for jamming without computerless.
Exactly.
Without
Yeah. If you don't want to, or also, I mean, it's up to you really.
Yeah.
But it's something to have more deterministic and more linear in time.
Yes. No, because I love jamming, but I don't like to jam with the computer.
Of course. No, nobody likes it.
Yeah. So that's brilliant. And that's what does all these blocks mean then? Is that
The blocks is actually the song block. So all this block that you're going to store it, all the snapshot, you block it, but you can actually rename it. This is just the whole name.
Okay.
But you can call it as you want.
Yeah.
Like intro, bridge, chorus.
Of course, yeah. So what's exactly inside this regarding like memory and power? Is there a processor inside?
There is of course.
Yeah.
There is plenty of hardware. We are not really underusing at the moment, so there is a lot of life for the device and a lot of development that we can do.
Right. So it's future-proof.
Yeah. There is a lot of stuff that we can do.
Right. Okay.
It's really there's a lot of power. That's why we choose it, and we knew that it's something that we want to maintain in time, and to build on top because really. With such a big interface, so many controllers, the possibilities are really endless and also overwhelming from the developer point of view, actually.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's lovely. So, again, what's the retail price going to be on
the
this?
retail price is $1,599.
Okay,
so 1.6K.
Yeah. Very good. And your shipping is how many numbers you ship so far?
Now, I'm not dealing with the logistic, unfortunately. We are...
I think it's around 400, right? Maybe a little bit less.
Maybe around 100 that we are reaching now. Because I know that the production now is starting, so finally it took start ramping up.
Nice.
And we also hope after we fulfill the order to start the production for the retailers.
But you look after your first.
Of course. This is it's our let's say weight on our shoulder every day. Is like.
But most people have been kind, right?
I know, of course. I mean, we understand also the frustration. I mean, I'm not gonna be bad to anybody.
Yeah, but also if you understand this industry, you also understand the problems, and you want to get it right. You don't want things coming back. You don't want too many headaches. You're always going to get some teething problems at the beginning, especially with the software, and also maybe a little bit buggy. But you try to get it to the best of your ability, then get the feedback, and then make the changes.
No. The point is just keep it going, and a bit of patience sometimes. Sometimes it's not in your control, and
No, but it's wonderful. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking to using it in my studio and making some jams. I love the look, I love the concept, I love the AI, I love everything we've done. So I really believe it's going to be a big success.
I'm really glad for doing it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.